Yesterday, it was announced that HBO Max would stop streaming the Dave Chappelle show at the request of its creator, Dave Chappelle. If you all remember, a few weeks ago, Chappelle released a stand-up clip unforgiving, explaining that he hasn't gotten any royalties from the show. As a result, Netflix took down the show, and now HBO Max is following suit too. Chappelle's request to boycott Chappelle's show has reminded fans of another boycott that a comedian requested due to unfair treatment, and that's MoNique, my loves. Back in January 2018, MoNique called on her fans to boycott Netflix due to race and gender bias. But fans weren't as quick to support MoNique. Is this situation between Dave and MoNique that different? What made us hesitate when it came to backing MoNique, but when it came to Chappelle wanting support, we had no problem showing up. Today on the show, we have our own comedy hype analyst, Pierre, calling in to talk all about it. I guess at this moment I have to call you the great Pierre.
Right, continue that. That makes sense. Everyone else is doing it. Might as well join in. So whatever.
So this isn't a new conversation. We've had this conversation many times,
Right.
but now we've seen Chappelle stand up and say, hey, I'm not asking you to boycott Netflix, but I am asking you to take a stand with me. And now people are resonating that with MoNique. What are your thoughts?
Well, those are two completely different things. Chappelle had work that he wasn't getting paid for. She wanted money from work she hadn't done yet, a certain amount. So there's two different things. One is, hey, I done this work. Y'all are pimping my work. Y'all ain't paying me nothing. The other one is, I want to be paid more for something I haven't done yet. So it's two different things. Also, one is Dave is in a rarefied air. He's he clicks his fingers, things happen, things move. Chappelle and her are not on the same level. There's no need to discuss it like they're on the same level. I think with MoNique, first of all, as being especially a black woman, if you speak up like a man, you're gonna catch all kind of hell. They think you're difficult already, So it's really a way you walk that line as a black woman in this industry, probably any industry. You got to be really careful. Unfortunately, you can't speak like a man, white or black, because you're already looked at as a problem and a headache. Oh, she's gonna have her head rolling, she's talking trash. Instead of just respecting what's coming out of her mouth, it's already there's something around y'all for whatever reason that people feel that way. People in higher ups. Okay, so MoNique can't really come like Chappelle can come and say boycott it. Everybody boycotts it. Now let's go with Chappelle. Let's go and talk about MoNique for a second. MoNique also had put in stuff. I love her. She's my friend, but she has come with an edge to her. Her humor, her delivery, her persona is a little bit more rough around the edges. It's all a lot of unfortunate people with the dirty language. She talking about skinny bitches ain't shit and all that. It's kind of hard to talk about skinny bitches and you trying to get fans to come support you and so forth. She kind of alienated herself. So she came kind of with a little bit of baggage of people saying, Now, we got people who love her in our community, black, but we're talking about outside of our community, because she's asking everybody to boycott it. So white folks ain't really jumping on her bandwagon. You go to her concerts, you don't see that. All right. So she had that little more higher mountain to climb. I don't think she's wrong for asking to be respected more financially, but you're about to find out, is it true or not? Do they respect you that much or not? If they feel like you don't deserve $4 or $5 million or whatever you said you wanted, it is what it is.
So Pierre, when you mentioned MoNique's baggage, are you talking about her remarks to Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry, and Oprah that you kind of feel like she's brought with her into her fight?
Yeah, we black folks love you until you start talking about each other, until you talk about people we love, and people love Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels, Oprah, and I think that kind of hindered her, that, like I said, and the other, the whole jokes about skinny bitches and shit, just the aura of her at times that people took her saying, hey man, look, you've talked enough trash, now you want us to support you, and I think that kind of overshadowed for some of right. What she was going for. And I just think that unfairly, well, I'm gonna say unfairly, people gonna feel how they feel. Right. You control your image. I mean, if you want to put it out there like that, and she did, and I think the smartest thing she could have done, to me, had it been me, now I'm playing Monday quarterback, would have been took the money that they gave her, done the special, but in the special actually apologized to those three people in a funny way. My mama said, hell, she wasn't gonna talk, she was gonna disown me because I talk trash about Oprah, something like that, made it funny. Now when the special comes out, people want to see that. Oh shit, she apologized, and then the numbers will go up and be like, what? And then she would hit those numbers, higher numbers. So the next special, because I know MoNique got a couple specials in there, she'd get the money. So I think I would have played it that way and said, okay, well, you know. But again, I'm playing Monday quarterback, so it's, you know, all fairness. But because I want to see the girl shine, man. She put a lot of good work in, and I just think I want to see her shine, man. I don't want her to be lumped up with this, you know, controversy. That's her whole career. Because she put too much good work in for that to be, you know, the sum of her career was a Netflix debacle.
I couldn't agree with you more, Pierre. That's definitely how I feel as well. And I'm wishing her the best because it's, like you said, she's put in so much and done so much for the culture that it would be a shame for this situation to be the situation where it's just like, oh, MoNique is erased.
Right. There it is.
Let me ask you this, Pierre. Do you see why people compare the two? Because if we're not diving into the exact details and we just pull out from a hindsight view, they're both speaking up and taking a stance on something that they feel is unfair. While I do agree with you that they are in two different fields, we're talking about Dave Chappelle and MoNique. Absolutely agree. Dave Chappelle has always been one of my favorites. Absolutely love MoNique. But at the same time, just because MoNique is fighting like, hey, they offer me money, but they didn't even give me the opportunity to renegotiate as they have with others. You know, that good faith renegotiation. They are paying me what I feel like I don't deserve. So I should at least have the opportunity to have a conversation. But then we have Dave Chappelle, who I feel rightfully so. And I don't want to discredit either one of them for their stances. But I do feel there is some type of similarities here as why, you know, we're supporting Chappelle with no problem. But then when it comes to MoNique, people are like, I don't, you know, we got this and that. But, you know, you have Chappelle who signed a contract, which definitely is not right to say he signed a contract and that's why he's in his position. But MoNique has put in the work. She was offered something that she felt like she didn't deserve and she took a stance on it. So do you see why people are comparing the two and saying like, hey, you know, we're listening to Chappelle, but, you know, MoNique kind of already spoke on this?
Well, I think with MoNique saying what she did and making that noise, it's helping Chappelle's situation even more. They don't want to bring no negative light. So we have to thank her for even being one of the first to stand up and say, this was wrong. I've been disrespected, you know, as an artist. And she made enough noise. Now, they kind of pushed her to the side, but they don't want to start the same shit with him. So you have to, she kind of is, you know, the person that laid it down. But, you know, that's where people see the similarity. But it's, again, to me, it's like someone stole $5 from you or someone stole $5,000. Okay, they both stole. What's going to hurt you more, the $5 or the $5,000? Meaning that, you know, with her, hers is a whole different thing about not being respected as far as my artwork that I haven't given you that. And someone else is saying, hey, you're stealing my artwork that I already have. It is a big difference. But again, we're both not being respected. I get that. But if you're wondering why one is more other than the other, then that's the reason why, I think, because, you know, Chappelle has work and we are emotionally attached to that work. We loved it. We liked it. We're like, what? My man ain't getting paid for the stuff that I liked and loved and supported and watched all the time, and y'all not paying him? Opposed to, girl, we like you, we love you, and you got a special coming up, but we don't know what it is. We ain't seen it yet. You want more money for it? Well, it's a different feeling.
Right. And something, you know, Chappelle made it very clear that he's saying, you know, he's not going to boycott Netflix because, you know, they did honor his request and take it down. But I have a question for you. Do you think if Chappelle was to say like, hey, I want you all to boycott Netflix, they would have the same reaction they had to MoNique? Or do you think that people would jump on that and boycott Netflix?
There will be a similar reaction, but not as much and not as hard because he's a GOAT. And so people are going to feel, again, if it's about this situation here, he may get a little more response, you know, but then if you ask me to boycott it, then everybody's gonna start saying, well, nigga, you the one signed the contract, fool. You know what I'm saying? I ain't about to boycott it. You the one signed the contract. So you got that kind of dynamic, you know, happening where some of them will say, yeah, I'm damn riding for you, bro, no matter what. Even though you signed the contract, they didn't show you the respect. But the other people are gonna say, well, hold up, you asked me to get rid of my Netflix subscription, but you signed the contract. I know it's a fucking contract, but you signed it. So you got that. Where MoNique was more like, girl, you asked me how much? I'm over here broke and starving. You talking about what? You want some more money? It was a whole different, you know, thing. But again, I respect it. I'm so happy she was a trailblazer that did it. That she went up and stepped. She took that sword for a lot of us. You know what I'm saying? We should respect her for that. She took that sword for a lot of us, you know? So now it's going to be easier. More and more people gripe about stuff. They're going to start pulling it back and start respecting people a little differently, especially these stand-up comics or whatever, you know, these artists that want to be respected in a different way. And I'm glad to see that we're having this conversation, this dialogue about this, because it's going to start changing. The higher ups, the old people who are pimping the situation for so long, the executives, they're going to see. It's going to be a little rough day in hell for them to keep getting, because now we can go other places and we don't need them. So, yeah.
And I think, and I really hope that MoNique sees that, you know, and I know she still has her case going on, but I hope she does see, you know, she kind of had to sacrifice herself for others to then make that way for them to, you know, make their moves. And a wise man once told me, don't miss the message because of the method.
I
So
told
I
you
think,
that.
you know,
I thought I told you that.
that was you.
Yeah, just said the great told you. Wise man, give me credit.
But I do think that's important. I think that's kind of what happened with MoNique. But I really hope that as things continue to open up and people are having these conversations and this dialogue, that it does change, because for so long, artists have been slaves to the
Yes.
industry.
Yes.
And it's about time that changes. So, you know, big kudos to MoNique for stepping up, as well as Dave Chappelle. I definitely don't want to take this time to separate the two. I think at this time we need to come together to make sure we're pushing the same message.
Right, sure.
It's how the delivery.
Sure. No, sure. And I think they both are, you know, they'll rise to the occasion. But again, I say Netflix, give that boy his money. Don't just pull him off. That ain't doing no help. You know, give him his money. You know, you were ready to show the damn show, you know, continuously. Now show it and just pay the boy. That's all I say. And pay MoNique some more money too.
I'm with you there, Pierre.
And Comedy Hype, pay me some more money too. Shit, fuck that. Everybody ask for more money. Comedy Hype, pay me some more money too.
Thank you, Pierre, so much for calling in. You heard from us. Now we want to hear from you in the comments below. Is there a difference in what Dave Chappelle is fighting for versus what MoNique fought for? For Comedy Hype News, I'm Symphony Thompson.
Do you know the comedy culture? Play Comedy Hype, the game. Out now.